Good evening, fellow students. I'm Lori Foster, and this is my friend Andrea. She came to help me again with my video this evening. And my family member tonight is Sanjay Tamraker. He's the 4-year-old in the family. There is a 6-year-old, and then Sanjay and two younger siblings. Their mom's name is Shristi. They are from Nepal, so they are not usually people that seek out medical care or health care. They tend to use more like natural medicine and healers that live in their villages. So, the scenario that I came up with is that the 6-year-old is going to start school in the United States. And most kindergarteners, at least in Ohio, have to go for a vision and a hearing test, and they have to turn in their immunization records for kindergarten registration. So it made sense to me that she would go to see the school nurse for this, and that's how she connected to a professional. So here we go. Hi, Shristi. How are you? Thank you so much for bringing in your son today. It looks like he's doing great. He's got his hearing test and his vision test all done. And I see that when you came here, you got all his immunizations up to date. So he looks like he's ready to start kindergarten. Is he scared or excited about it?
Very excited to meet the new kids and the new culture here.
Oh, good. That's
Mhm.
great. I'm so glad to hear that. I understand that you have 4 children. That makes you a really busy mom. I had three under the age of 3, so I understand. Do you have anybody helping you at home?
Yes, we have a friend, family member who came with us from Nepal,
Okay.
and she doesn't speak English, but the kids understand her, and I understand her, and she's been helpful.
Wow, having bilingual kids, that's even better.
We hope
So does the 6-year-old speak English fairly well then?
he understands it pretty well.
Good,
We try to speak it to him as much as possible. Diction's important to us.
good. Okay, well, like I said, he looks like he is ready to go to school. I am, however, a little bit concerned about your 4-year-old that you brought with you today.
Hmm.
There was a couple things that I noticed. Did excuse me? Um, there were a couple things that I had noticed. Do you think that he is about the same like age, height, and weight for the kids that are his age?
He's small, and thinner. We just figured that was normal. He doesn't like to play outside like his older brother, and so never really thought much of it. But he is more tiny.
Well, have you ever noticed him like having difficulty getting up off the floor or keeping up with his brothers and sisters?
Yes, but not never thought of it as a medical problem. More that um, he complains a lot that he's tired, and so
Hmm.
we tease him about being lazy.
Okay. Well, the reason that I am concerned about him is that it looks like maybe his muscles and his arms and legs are not growing and developing the way they should. Has anybody else ever said that to you before?
Just that he looks weak, and we figured that's because he doesn't like to play or catch ball or run outside.
Okay. Well, I want to talk to you about a few things that maybe you could do at home to help him grow and strengthen his muscles a little bit.
Okay.
What kind of foods does he like to eat?
He limits his diet. He really only eats rice.
Oh, so he's a really picky eater then, huh?
Super picky.
Have you ever tried to get him to expand his taste a little bit?
Well, we eat a huge variety of foods:
Okay.
curry, cauliflower, vegetables, lentils, beans,
Okay.
and he'll push it all away except for the plain rice.
Okay. Well, those are all some really good choices. You know, your food is made up of three basic elements, and that's fats and sugar and protein. The protein is what's really important to help him grow muscle and to get stronger. So what we want to try and do is, even though he's a picky eater, try and get him to add a little more things with protein into his diet. Are you vegetarian?
We mostly, but we will eat chicken and
Okay.
some meat sometimes.
Okay. That's good if you can get him to eat that. They're really good sources of protein. Does he like dairy products like milk, yogurt?
We do use some of that with our cooking,
Okay.
so that's a possibility. Tofu?
Okay. Yogurt is a really good choice. It's high in protein. And one thing that I have noticed with the little kids that I know is if you take the yogurt, like the yogurt sticks that you put in kids' lunches, like Go-Gurt, and put it in the freezer, then they treat it like it's a popsicle and it tastes like ice cream and they really, really like it. So that might be an option for you.
Would, that be healthy for the other kids? Because if one is eating
Absolutely.
it, then everyone's gonna want to eat that.
Absolutely. That's a great treat for anybody. You might want to watch it with a 6 month old, though. They're probably not quite ready to eat that kind of dairy and be able to digest it well.
Yeah. I'm
Mm.
I'm only breastfeeding still.
Oh, that's perfect then. That
Okay.
6 month old isn't going to even notice the other kids have a treat.
Okay.
Is there nuts that you know of or any other allergies for
Mm,
foods?
we don't use a lot of nuts in their cooking,
Okay.
not much.
Okay.
So I've not noticed that.
Okay. Well, that's another thing that's a good protein, vegetarian, not animal choice.
Like pine nuts would be
Almonds,
okay.
almonds are especially good,
Okay.
and they're the nuts make it an easy choice for you being a really busy mom because you don't have to wash them, you don't have to peel them, you don't have to cook them. A lot of times you can just buy like the little packages or make little packages in Ziploc bags of almonds or nuts and just you can just hand it to them or when your little boy starts school you can pack it in his lunch to take to school.
We had a friend, neighbor, show us that she uses a different kind of peanut butter with other
Oh,
nuts. Is that
yes.
what you mean?
You can do that too. There's almond butter. There are lots of choices in that area. If they like peanut butter on bread or crackers, that would be a great idea.
Okay.
And another thing that is a good start to the day is oatmeal. Oats are also very high in protein, and I
All
don't
right.
know if he's ever tried that before, but sometimes oatmeal with fruit or cinnamon
So we've
is a good
had like a
option.
porridge
Uh huh.
that I make of it's like a cream of wheat, I think is what you guys call it here. Is
Okay.
that
That is okay, but oatmeal is going to be a little bit higher in the protein area. That'll help your son a little bit more.
we can try that?
Yeah. So, do you have any other ideas, recipes, things? You mentioned things like beans and lentils. Those are great. So, are peas. I don't know if maybe from my experience
So we
myself.
do hummus, but he doesn't like that either. Again,
Oh,
he
gotcha.
really only eats rice.
Okay. Well, one of the things that my personal experience is I'm really strange, but I've had this habit since I was a child. I don't like things mixed on a plate.
Mm.
Like I would like instead of like mixing it all together, I would prefer it if like the rice was here and the beans were here and the other side dish was here in separate areas on the plate. Have you ever tried that?
No. We always try to mix it, and then he pushes it off and only eats the rice, and then he gets in trouble from his father for wasting food.
Ah, okay. Okay. Well, it's kind of important to not make him feel bad if he's not eating things because that's okay. But it's better to just maybe put little small portions and have him try and take one or two bites of a food that might be new or different if you want to try some of the things that I mentioned. And he might end up liking some of them.
So you said that meat could be
Hmm.
good. So
Hmm.
would it help if maybe when I make the rice, instead of boiling it in water, I boil it in broth, like meat broth? Would that help at all?
Um, it might, but it's not going to give you the same kind of nutrients as it would be as if you ate the meat or the nuts or the yogurt by
Okay.
itself. And I have another question for you. Is there kind of you said he doesn't like to play outside very much. Is there any
Mhm.
kind of physical activity that he likes?
Um, he likes to watch television, and in the cartoons, a lot of them do like I think they call it anime or
Oh,
like
okay.
it looks like Tai Chi karate.
Right.
He'll sometimes act out karate moves.
Okay. Well, that might be an option for him. I don't know if there's any classes that are near you, but you can certainly look into that. And another thing that I might suggest, because everybody in your family could do it as an activity, is yoga. It's really good for strengthening muscle and improving your balance, and it's easy to do. And if you do it with everybody, with your sister and the other kids, he might think it's a little bit more fun to try.
Um, yeah, the monks in Nepal often did yoga with their meditation,
Oh, okay.
so I'm familiar with it.
Good, good.
Okay.
Well, there's if you don't want to go out of the house, which I know trying to get four kids out and going anywhere to a park or something like that, and it's getting really cold outside, which makes it even more difficult to go places. That's a really good option. They have a lot of different videos on YouTube
Yeah,
exercise.
we watch. Unfortunately, the children have been watching a lot of TV, but that's how we
Yeah.
learned English better.
Yes, you know what? You are not the first person that has told me that. I had a friend who moved here from China who said that she learned English from watching TV.
Baby Shark
So,
was popular.
oh, well, there you go.
Mhm.
Well, even having a dance party is great. I do that with
Okay.
the kids that I know. Just turn on music and just have everybody in the family have a dance party. It gets you up and going for 15 or 20 minutes, and
Okay.
it's something fun. And it doesn't feel like it's exercise because it doesn't have to be planned and you don't have to be really regimented about it. You can just go wild and have fun.
Okay. That's doable.
Yeah. And the last thing that I might recommend is having him go in for a well child checkup. Have you ever
Mhm.
done that before?
We've just not ever found that necessary.
Right.
I mean, I heard here we were told that um, that's more popular. That
Hmm.
that they go to the doctor all the time, and we've just not found that necessary unless there's an emergency.
Right, well, that's normal. What I would like to do though is just make sure that he's not having any kind of other medical issues that might be causing his problems with his muscles being a little bit more weak than they should be.
Okay.
But I would have a suggestion for you. We have a nurse practitioner that works with several of the families here at our school. And she's more of a holistic kind of
Mm,
doctor, nurse
I like that
practitioner. Do you
better.
know what that means?
Hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
I like that idea better.
Good. Yeah. She has worked with, like I said, a lot of our Indian families, Nepali families that come in through our school.
Hmm.
And she's very into trying things like natural medicines first. And as opposed to, what you would probably consider our traditional Western medicine.
That's what I was afraid of. Like, there's always seems like, from what I've heard, there's always surgeries and medicine rather
Right.
than other treatments.
Right. Well, this particular nurse practitioner is very familiar with your culture and what you might want to think about doing first instead of
Okay.
just jumping right into what you would think of as Western medicine.
My husband would be much more comfortable with me bringing that idea to him
Okay,
than the other. If he would not be. Oh, I would like to do whatever's important for our son,
of course.
um, but my husband is very determined that no Western medicine. So, but if we just talked with someone as a nurse, you said a nurse,
Yes.
then that would, I think he would be open to that.
Good. Sometimes talking to a nurse practitioner can be a little less intimidating too. They
Especially you said they can come to us.
We can probably set that up for you.
Okay, rather than going, because my husband doesn't
It's
like the idea of going to a clinic or a hospital.
okay. Well, I can set you up with the name and the number of the nurse practitioner that works with the other students at our school if you would like.
That would be lovely. Is there another um, family or maybe social worker that has worked with us that you could introduce us to so that we understand that better?
We can, and if you would like, we can get an interpreter for you when you go talk to the other nurse practitioner or to the teachers at school. That might be an option for you if you don't feel comfortable using English all the time.
I'm comfortable with English, but if they were to say something more medical, I would need assistance.
Okay, that sounds great. Well, I will do what I can to set you up with that. I'll make a few phone calls and then I will call you back. Does that sound okay?
Yes, thank you very much for seeing us today, and I appreciate you caring about Sanjay. We worry about him. Mhm.
Well, thank you very much for bringing in your son today, and I will be back with you very soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.